Well, wrapping up a Monday night in Minnesota with Bears head coach Thomas Brown here on ESPN Chicago. I'm Jeff Joniak. Early morning arrival at Hallis Hall for a second consecutive week, Thomas. So thanks for the quick turnaround this morning. How you feeling?
No problem at all. I appreciate the opportunity. Always good to talk to you. And obviously back at work, ready for a new opportunity.
You know, a word popped in my head on the flight home, and it was the word maddening, because there were moments that momentum was there for the taking for you guys, and the drive stalled or stuff happened. Did you feel the same way?
Yeah, I mean, definitely frustrated when it comes to, like you talked about, the kind of momentum swings in that game, having some opportunities to get in striking range, wanted to be aggressive early on, the fourth down call, thinking we could be able to run it for a yard and couldn't get that. And defense did a good job of holding them to a field goal and trying to battle back in the game and move the ball down the field a second drive. And then the strip sack turnover happens. So definitely frustrating as far as not getting a result. But again, going to be relentless as far as our approach, trying to find ways to get this football team better.
You know, there's a big difference between competing, which the team did to the bitter end, but that execution component, which always tells the story, that was not there at all times. But at the same time, that's the repairable part of that equation, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's why we have jobs as coaches, to try to find ways to be better communicators, to demand more from the group, and to get those guys in a better spot to play well on game day. So this is probably one of the few times I felt of recently that we kind of just took turns, mixed some things up on offense as far as, some drops and penalties, protection issues, ball not going where it's supposed to go in the run game and in the pass game. So getting back to some of the basics and kind of getting to get ready to regroup and go back to work.
You know, I can understand some of the aggressive components to your game plan and decision-making yesterday, because the Bears need a spark, especially in that first quarter. It continues to haunt. I understand your thinking. Do you feel the same way?
Oh, yeah. I mean, didn't change at all. After looking at it again, don't have any regrets about the thought process behind it. Just didn't get the result we were looking for. I think sometimes the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So we plan to be more aggressive, plan to take more shots and more chances here and there, and I just didn't go in our favor.
The first Monday Night Football experience for Caleb Williams, and a first repeat against a divisional opponent last night. Tricky proposition given the aggressiveness of that defensive coordinator, as we discussed before the game, Brian Flores. Decoding that coach a second time around, what was the challenge with that? What proved to be challenging for Caleb? He was sacked twice, only hit 3 times, but was certainly pressured quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, he's a pressure guy. So I think being able to understand how to change some looks up, did a really good job in the coverage, on the coverage back end wise, of trying to give us a single high presentation before the ball snaps and go into a 2-deep zone post snap. They were much more aware of certain players in certain spots. We had some things kind of going early in the game as far as getting DJ moved around and getting the ball out in space and making those guys have to adjust to him. So I have to plan for more than in the future. But I think anytime you play an opponent the second time, they make adjustments. We have to be able to adapt and adjust to it. Then obviously road environment, the noise plays a part into the snap count and guys getting off on the snap count. So some of the protection issues showed up. But again, our guys continue to battle, and I appreciate them for that.
You know, we talked about the adrenaline rush of a Monday night for a young player, and in Caleb's case, how do you feel he handled that aspect of the experience?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously he was frustrated like we all were, just as far as the end result. But again, the cat's a competitor, which I appreciate about him. He continues to battle, down in and down out. Some stuff we can clean up for sure. And I think also just the part that he has as far as being able to be coachable, continue to try to find ways to improve himself and put us in a better spot.
8 straight games, no interceptions. No rookie's done that since at least 1950. That's crazy.
It is crazy. And, so again, I get the question every week about him being gun shy and not taking chances. Again, people just don't watch the game. I think he definitely takes chances and puts the ball, give our guys some 50-50 opportunity at times. And just a couple times the ball kind of slipped out of the defender's hands. But it's definitely impressive to see when it comes to him being consistent, still having opportunities to make some plays, and also getting us a touchdown as well.
He mentioned after the game, I think it's a great quote, yeah, it's been frustrating. That's a no-brainer. Everybody's frustrated. But
right.
It's frustrating and encouraging because of how hard everybody's playing. I know sometimes that falls flat with people, but if you don't have that component, you have no chance of winning anyway.
There's no doubt. And again, I like what you mentioned before about being able to the outside world kind of falling flat on them, but I don't miss that for one moment about when it comes to those guys fighting, continue to stay united as a football team and continue to try to find ways to battle. Again, it's definitely frustrating not to get the result that we're looking for when we put the work in for it. But as he mentioned, I think just for him and from a rookie season standpoint, encouraging as far as his growth and development, I continue to try to find ways to get better. It's my job to try to continue to keep that going the next 3 weeks.
I talked with the rookie left tackle, Karan Amagaji, after the game, and it's a game he's going to learn from, no question. I also respect it because it was a literal baptism by fire. I mean, you couldn't pick a tougher assignment, honestly, to do that with not getting number one reps all over the course of the week until later in the week. What's your takeaway on that, and how will it help him moving forward?
Again, it's going to obviously be some growing pains for him, some lessons learned throughout the process. As you mentioned, it's probably one of the tougher environments to go into, playoff caliber team on the road, it being your first opportunity to start versus a team that brings a ton of pressure. And they have some guys who will mix it up pretty well on the outside edge. It's obviously difficult, as you talk about, when it comes to having only 24 hours of prep to kind of know about having a chance to play in the game. And there's not much you can adjust and adapt before then. But I think he came into the game poised. He stayed poised the entire time, and obviously continue to be able to learn and grow from those opportunities.
Yeah, he did not shy from his self-analysis. And how do you as a coach help a guy like that make sure that he does not lose an inch, a smidge of confidence moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I tell the entire group and tell myself as well. First thing, block out the outside noise because people talk and can't do, have all the problems but no solutions. So first and foremost, understand the work he's put in to get to this point. So continue to find ways to build him up, but also myself as we continue to move forward and we'll try to figure out what happens in the next few weeks. But how you design a game plan, having to adapt and adjust. Obviously, being able to stay more balanced, which we did a pretty good job of last night with the run the pass, helps alleviate some of that pressure off him as well.
Third and fourth down, we know the numbers. I think it was 3 of 15 in those critical situations. Is there a common denominator in the lack of success in those situations? Is it details? Is this the small details that make the biggest difference?
Yeah, I mean, definitely small details, but it's about also winning matchups. We lost a lot of matchups last night when it comes to one-on-ones at the point of contact in the run game. Also being able to break tackles and create for yourself at times in the run game, but also when it comes to throwing the football, just the pressure, not being able to push the ball down the field just because of the pressure at times. And also I did a good job of dropping defenders out to eliminate some of the quick element throws so we couldn't get the ball by hands fast.
All right, let's flip to defense. Eric Washington and his unit made Sam Darnold really work for it over the course of the game. He was not as accurate as he's been all year. Took 8 hits, 4 by DeMarcus Walker. That tied a career high. He did it against Tennessee in week 1, I believe, as well. Just talk about that experience because it starts with that position, obviously, because all those weapons, if he has all that time to throw, he'll inch up in the pocket and make something happen.
No question. I mean, one of the point of emphasis we made for this week was being able to try to find ways to use our personnel the right way on defense to affect the quarterback. You talked about the weapons they have on the outside. I got the question all week about how do you slow down or stop Justin Jefferson? And the number one way you do that is get to the quarterback. You put pressure on him, make him make off-schedule throws. And I thought they gave us a great opportunity early in the game to stay in it. We just couldn't do enough on offense to keep pace.
Another takeaway. So that's 8 straight games. Very impressive streak. I think it's 8, maybe 7. I can't get all the math right this morning. But Tyreek's interception, and he almost had another one. They got him in the end zone with that. Sometimes those calls are not made, but overall, what'd you think about the wrinkles that did work defensively?
I thought it was good as far as being mixing guys up in different spots. Obviously, Tariq has done a really good job with the opportunities he's been presented and does have really good ball skills, showed up in the run game and battled us the entire night for us. So I appreciate that effort. As you mentioned, thought he had a second pick in the end zone. That call didn't go our way, which is things you can't control. So we just keep moving forward.
All right, and moving forward means a short week. What's your plan to get ready for the 12-2 Lions? First thing is they're wounded for sure, but that doesn't make them less of a nasty animal.
Doesn't at all. They'll be as tough as ever. So obviously being back at home will help out. But first off, trying to figure out how to get our guys as fresh as possible. So we'll have some adjustments to the practice schedule for the next few days to get our guys back going in the right direction some of our injury issues. But also because we obviously have that game and have a Thursday night game following up, and keep our guys ready to go mentally and physically as much as possible.
Thomas, good luck with your prep this week. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.